The KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
It's Tony. It's Candace. It's Zepp. That's it this morning. That's what we have for you. That's pretty good. 3 out of 4. Not bad. That'll get the job done this morning. How's everyone doing? We off to a good start here? Cool. Doing all right? These probably are not always just the best ones. I didn't cherry pick. I didn't have a chance to go through all of them. But if you're looking for some light entertainment, good reading, scroll through that post a little bit later on. Mark Ellis. I don't know if this is our Mark or not. My 7-foot-tall knight is a good companion.
That is our Mark Ellis.
I want a suit of armor. That's like on my gift list for the girls. I understand they can be expensive because it's got to be legit. It's got to be real. Danny says we have a pool table once owned by Prince. Oh. Had it restored, covered in purple in his honor. That's pretty cool. Tammy has a bat skeleton.
Oh, all right. I like that.
She's a witch. Little Eye of Newt to go with that.
She's a witch.
A cauldron. A witch. Burn up. Renee has 6 urns of her past fur babies. Oh, really, 6. Really going through them there, Renee. Michael has a naval lint collection. I'm skeptical.
No.
I'm skeptical, Michael. But maybe he does.
I believe he does, but he shouldn't.
He shouldn't, no. Georgiana? 1977 life-size Chewbacca cardboard cutout stand-up because he's handsome and the best boyfriend ever.
Like that.
Andrea, maybe not in my house, but my actual house used to be a church. Nothing but good vibes in here. I don't know if I'd get away with that.
But good vibes.
Yeah, I might fall in on my head. Jane, a life-size knight in shining armor. There's another one of those. Mercy, an antique portable glass urinal I use as a flower vase.
Cool.
Why do you have an antique portable glass urinal? Okay. I suppose back in the day. Bethany, my aunt, had wallpaper in her kitchen that had pictures of Victorian-era women in various Kama Sutra-inspired poses.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
In the kitchen.
That's odd.
When my grandma passed, I inherited her house, and for the first time I really looked at what they were doing. When I was a kid, I thought they were just all friends being goofy together.
Being goofy. Let's get goofy.
Paul, one more here. None of your business. Get a life. Thank you, Paul, for keeping it real for us. We appreciate that. And a lot of my wife and my husband answers on there. I don't know who won the my wife, my husband. Maybe we'll tally that up a little bit later. Right now we have Mike Evans, Hollywood Report. It is Movie Review Friday. Good morning, Mike.
Sorry, I just...
we're just getting to it?
Seconds. 15 seconds.
Make sure you get on and vote USA Today for the best Oktoberfest in the United States for New Ulm. It's griping me that Tulsa is ahead in the standings right now. Mm-hmm. New Ulm, named after the Bavarian city New Ulm, and Tulsa's Oklahoma or Oktoberfest is beating it out. Weird. We can't let that happen. Where's the Minnesota pride around here for crying out loud? Where's Mike Evans for crying out loud?
Come on, man.
There he is. There's Mikey. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. Good morning, guys. Happy Aloha Friday. We start off, just a reminder, this report brought to you by Marcus Theaters. They are so wonderful. The nicest people that run that whole company are just great. And just spreading the love. Don't forget, every Tuesday, Value Tuesday, $6 for any movie, plus 20% off all of the concessions. And don't forget, they also have great restaurants at the theaters. My favorite is the Oakdale Cinema. Check it out this weekend. Go see a movie. And we got some movie reviews. But first, Love Nugget. Gotta love them. Britney Spears and Sam Asghari's divorce is going to get really ugly, man.
Oh.
Sam says that Brittany went out on him. He has proof of that. Brittany attacked him for no reason in the middle of the night. She would bite him. She would tear up the house and scream for hours.
Oh, wow.
Says he feared for his life. All of a sudden, that conservatorship sounds like it needs to be put back in order. And Brittany's dad isn't looking quite as bad. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe, I don't know if a conservatorship can just get her into some sort of treatment or some sort of help or something like that. But I don't know that we need to send her back to dear old dad. But yeah, he might have been onto something.
Something needs to happen, yeah. Movie Review Friday, and we start off with DC's Blue Beetle. Believe it or not, it starts with a hamburger that turns out to be an ancient thing called a scarab that attaches itself to our very unwitting young superhero. And this is actually funnier than almost any DC comic I've seen.
All right.
It's exciting, but yet funny. It's full of surprises. It's very entertaining. Great family fun. Rated PG-13, 2 hours long. I liked it. 3 stars for DC's Blue Beetle.
Okay.
Now, the next one is Strays. I don't know about this movie. Will Smith and Jamie Foxx voice a live dog who live out on the streets in Atlanta, Georgia. I thought this could have been, and I thought it was going to be a fun, loving, light-hearted, got talking dogs out on the street.
Yeah.
Instead, boy, it is rude, it is crude, and it is rated a very hard R.
Oh.
Just let you know, in case you think, oh, there's dogs. Let's take our 7-year-old. I don't think so. Homie, don't play
That's
that.
what. Did you like it?
You know what? I'll give it 2.5 stars.
All right.
I mean, it wasn't horrible. It was just so crude for no reason. It's like, but you know what? You have a couple of drinks, you go into the theater, you probably laugh like hell. So
There you go. They have drinks at the theater.
there you do that. They do. There you go. What I like about movies is there's a little something for everybody. So
Yeah.
that's very cool.
Yeah.
TV news, don't miss the Little League World Series. It's on ESPN and ABC all weekend long. Always great television. And, boy, it took long enough, but the mustard's finally come off the Bachelor hot dog. Last week, Bachelor lost 1.1 million viewers. It's pretty hard to do it with just 1 week.
Yeah. Jeez.
Prediction, Hillary. I think Hillary could do millions of dollars of damage to Southern California. No, not Hillary Clinton. Hurricane Hillary.
Oh yeah, that's amping up. I heard.
Yeah, this is scheduled to hit Southern California sometime over the weekend, middle of the weekend. And check this out. This is the first real hurricane that's been predicted to hit Southern California since 1935.
Yeah.
2 inches of rain shuts down Southern California and will completely shut down the deserts, Palm Springs, places like that. They say they could get 10 inches of rain. This could be a total disaster.
Yeah, no kidding. When's that supposed to hit? Do you know?
Saturday afternoon
All right.
and into Sunday morning.
Good luck to everyone out
And
there.
sorry to hear about the passing of Jerry Moss, one of the really true great guys in the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
He was a big part of discovering and a big part of the success of people like the Police, the Go-Go's, Cat Stevens, Carole King, Sheryl Crow, and many others. Jerry Moss and his best friend Herb Alpert started their own record label decades ago using their initials. I'm sure everybody's heard of A&M Records.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he got his start. Good for him. What's happening in Minneapolis, St. Paul this weekend?
Well, we had a nice cool day yesterday. We got more of this smoke to deal with. I think it's going to warm up. But, hey, it's the weekend before the state fair. It's still summer here in Minnesota. And, there's lots of good times to be had. We're all going to get out and eat barbecue and drink beer and whiskey this weekend.
Sweet. Plus the Vikings play this
That's
weekend.
right. Got the Titans on Saturday.
I think it's time to sing. It's Aloha Friday, no work till Monday. We're going to play the Aloha Friday. Have a great weekend, and remember, Mili, Klikamaka, Aulibaka, Hiki Ho, Lili, Yokalani, Kalani, Ani, Odike, Lukaku, and a cock and a hawk, and hooey, 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 ho.
Aloha. Aloha.
Now, did I get that wrong, Tony? Did they play the Titans already? Was that last weekend? The Vikings. Preseason doesn't.
No, they are. Yeah, they're playing.
It is the Titans coming up this Saturday. All right. He mentioned the Little League World Series. I wasn't going to play this, but it's kind of fun, except the announcers make it super dorky. So ESPN was in the stands of the Little League World Series last night, interviewing one of the players' parents. And their son hit a go-ahead home run while they're interviewing them.
Did you get the pregame hug in?
Maybe about half a dozen today.
Uh-oh, Lappy, right field. Forget about it.
Julie was interviewing parents. Kid, it's all right.
Yeah, I'd like to think it was the interview effect. You have that halo effect. How about that?
It was amazing. Oh, my goodness.
You knew it was gone just the moment you heard it. Just the crack of the bat.
Anyway, Little Amy.
Oh, but is there any better feeling, though, than seeing your kid hit a home run or score a goal or something like that? It just, oh, my God.
I wouldn't know.
Euphoria.
I wouldn't know. It's always disappointment. No, I kid that. I kid because I love. Taylor didn't. She played 1 year of soccer. Sports wasn't her thing. But Sydney was in gymnastics for a long time, and it was great. And I also remember sitting there with white knuckles, clenching my hands. Holding my breath during certain routines. Come on, kiddo. You're just feeling for them.
Don't fall.
Yeah, I could care less, how she ultimately performs, but it's important to her. And I don't. What? I'm not the
My
parent out
dad
there
used to come to my stuff all the time and fall asleep.
Well, I mean, sometimes there are some lulls in the action. That's like Taylor. I shouldn't say wasn't in competition, although she didn't compete in dance, but she did dance and the whole thing. And I remember going to her recitals, which would last for what was Woodstock? 3 days. I think they lasted for 3 days. They just kept going. It was actually about like 7 hours.
Oh God, those recitals! Yeah, they go on forever.
All right, and she was in 3 dances: one in the beginning, one in the middle, and one in the end.
Oh.
And yeah, you'd be there all day long.
Hours.
Yeah, and of course they'd say, now don't leave after your child's done with their routine. That's rude. Sit here for the other kids. No, I was that dad. I was the divorced dad that was the D-bag, and I just got up and left. I got to go out in this parking lot and smoke and hit on single mothers.
Well, what a great opportunity.
Well, you're there. It's a
dance moms.
target-rich environment. But, the dances. And I do remember hitting a grand slam when I was in Pee Wee's baseball, and that was the first time I remember, Dad just really got it going crazy. And on the way home, we're stopping at Dairy Queen, and awfully proud of you, son. So, yeah.
Great. I hit a homer one time in T-ball. Well, I thought it was a pop fly, but it was caught in midfield.
Yeah.
And I kept running the bases. I went all the way around, tagged home. I went running up the hill. But Mom, look what my mom just went. No,
honey,
they caught it. Just humiliated.
Yeah, well, that turned around on you, and you're rounding the bags, just running like hell.
Yeah, I was running while everyone was just motionless and staring at me. It's like, they must be intimidated by my speed.
That was at a concert recently, an outdoor show, and the PA or the sound system went out, but not for the band. I guess they could hear it in their in-ears, their monitors, and they're just rocking out up there. I'll say it. It was the Foo Fighters in Montana. Oh. And there's Dave Grohl and the band, and they're just doing full animation rock out, fighting the Foo big time, but we can't hear anything. What? I mean, you can hear a little bit of him going from the distance like, but you can't hear anything. It's out, and he starts looking. All of a sudden, he just stops, and he goes, what? What's going on? What? And he leans down in the audience. He goes, oh, you can't hear us. He goes, yeah, because I'm sitting out here rocking my ass off, and I'm looking at an audience that's just standing there giving me a blank stare. And he was thinking, what is going on? This crowd really died, but no sound. Kind of reminds me of you running around and people just staring at you while you're doing your victory lap.
Right.
Just sprinting away. That's fun. Hey, I'm looking at an article this morning. What's something you're convinced people are pretending to like? I was going to bypass this, but I clicked on it this morning, and then I started reading it, and I went, oh, okay, all right, I see, I get it. There's like IPAs. Now, listen, everyone in the world these days, I love IPA beer.
I don't.
Okay, you admit it. Neither too hoppy. Sorry. I guess
I can have one.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm
too
good
hoppy,
for one.
Too bitter.
I'm good for one. You're right. And then I'm going to go back to a lager, port, or something like that. A good old Pilsner, because we were raised on, water, basically. A lot of those beers were just crap. The cheap old Milwaukee. Milwaukee's best. Picking on Milwaukee now, aren't I? Too many hops. But everybody loves the IPAs. They tell you that. I wonder if they really do.
I like to go to a brewery. If I go to a brewery, I'll have one, maybe two. But yeah, I like the lighter beers. Sometimes I'll do a sour.
I like sours.
Yeah?
Yeah.
A shandy. I do like the Liney shandies. I dig those. That's not
I'd have some of that tonight.
We'll talk about that here in just a moment. Sparkling water. What happened with sparkling water? All of a sudden, I know it's been around for a while, but now everyone is going gonzo for sparkling water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fun. I don't buy it because it just, it's not a good habit for me to drink it because it kind of makes me constipated. I don't know.
Sparkling water does?
Yeah, Google it.
Really?
It's not like the greatest thing to ingest all the time. Once in a while, it's okay, but...
All right.
So I've read the opposite.
Look it up!
That it gives you an upset tummy.
Yeah.
Not constipated.
What's the difference?
Well, constipated, you can't go.
Yeah, there's actually a huge difference.
Well,
It's polar opposites.
Yeah.
here, I'm looking it up. Just
All right. While you look it up,
Okay.
I'll move along here to the next one, but jump back in with whatever you find there on Goog. Kale. Oh, yeah, because it's good for you. Don't pretend you like it. Stop it. Kale.
Yeah,
I love
it's
kale.
bitter. No.
Yeah. Right. Driving a stick shift. I can't remember the last time I drove a stick shift, but that's the last thing us Gen Xers are hanging on to, right? Over the millennials and the Gen Zers. Yeah, can you drive a stick shift? I can, and I love it. Although, if you get in the right vehicle, you get in some muscle, something with some horsepower, and a little open road in front of you.
It's
in
fun
safe
for a
conditions.
while. That's how I learned to drive on a stick. But
Right, that's a huge pain in the ass.
It is.
I had one for a week. I rented. I thought, this is going to be cool. I'm going to get a stick, and then I'm trying to eat and drink my beer while I'm driving. It's impossible. I'm kidding. Totally kidding about
you're
that.
not.
Did you find anything? Yes. Yeah.
People, for some people, drinking too much sparkling water can induce gas and bloating, making them uncomfortable. Well, that's kind of what I meant.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for clarifying. All right, meet up with Candace. There she is right over there. Meet up with Candace from the KQ Morning Show and Lining Kugels today from 4 to 6 p.m. at Cub Wine and Spirits in Champlin, toasting the dog days of summer. You'll have a chance to win. Yeah, bring the pup. She's giving away Liney's merch for the pup.
Yeah.
Liney's paddles. Do you spank? That was my big thing when I gave away the paddles. I'd probably get arrested now, but I used to. Everyone had to get a spanking before they got a paddle, men and women.
Yep.
That's fair.
Gear, all sorts of stuff. Sample Line and Kugel beer. That's happening 4 to 6 this evening. Great way to kick off the weekend at Cub Wine and Spirits in Champlin with our gal, Candace.
Fun.
And Line and Kugels. Oh, we have some crazy-ass stories coming up this morning. I'm going to jump right in with this one at 7 o'clock. A woman says she was sexually assaulted by a toy at a Japanese restaurant here in the United States. I know that sounds like every other crazy-ass headline you read, but we have this lady and her husband in their own words telling the story. It's my favorite audio of the day. It's coming up at 7 o'clock. Hang tight.
Refreshing.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
It's Tony, it's Candace, it's Zep. I received a couple of messages. Is Steve gone? Yeah, he's gone, but not forgotten. Oh, he'll be back on Monday. And that will be cool, but we want to tell you the story now. So when I saw the headline last night, right before I went to bed, I was just ready to pack it in, go to bed, did my meditation, my stretching. No, I don't do any of that. My stretching is getting out of the recliner. But I see the headline. A woman says she was sexually assaulted by a toy at a Japanese restaurant. You got to click. This woman's name is Izzy. She's from Texas. She and her husband, James, were visiting Nashville earlier this week for business. Monday night, they went to one of those fancy Japanese hibachi restaurants where the chefs, cook the food right there in front of you. Sure. It's fun. It's delicious. And they're putting on a show, right? They're there for the entertainment. And it was time for the chef to squirt some water on the grill, as they do. Instead of using a spray bottle, this kooky chef, well, he used a toy. My grandpa had one of these. Oh, man, he would laugh and laugh and laugh. And I laughed along with Grandpa until I was like 10. It was a plastic figure of a boy who squirts water when his pants are down, like he's peeing. I think Grandpa's was like an old man, though, or something with a barrel or something.
Kind of like the dunking bird.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it's a little plastic toy that's just 6 inches tall, maybe not even that big. And pull the shorts down. It's not anatomically correct. There's no wiener, just water shoots out. And this is what the hibachi chef used at this restaurant. It's kind of a signature thing. And as he was messing around, he squirts Izzy with the little pea boy. She and her husband, James, were mortified. Let's just get to the audio, shall we? Because they called the cops.
Oh, what?
She said she was sexually assaulted. This toy peed on her, and it was aimed by this hibachi. So you're out for a good time. Things are light. You're in Nashville. You don't get out of Texas very often. And this is what you get wound up about. Here's Izzy and James after they called the cops talking to a local reporter.
It peed on me, basically.
It shot water out of its penis. How's that?
Out of its wee-wee area. Does that make sense?
In front of our minor children and grandchildren.
It really didn't have a wiener, but you got the point.
It was a sexual style assault on my wife.
I mean, just because it didn't have a weenie.
Just because somebody may cut off that little piece of plastic to say, okay, it's not there anymore, doesn't change the fact that you're getting peed on.
That's the key. It's plastic.
I don't know where to start with this. How literally everything that came out of their mouth, you want to stop the audio and go, shut up. They didn't cut the wiener off. It has no wiener. It's a toy. And just because they cut the wiener off doesn't mean you weren't getting peed on. You were not getting peed. Right. Why am I arguing with these people?
It peed on me.
I know it did, sweetie.
Yeah.
It just, we got to listen to it again. I'm sorry. I'm so dumbfounded.
Basically.
They shot water out of its penis. How's that?
Out of its wee-wee area.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Shocking.
In front of our minor children and grandchildren.
It really didn't have a wiener, but you got the point.
It was a sexual style assault on my wife.
I mean, just because it didn't have a weenie.
Just because somebody may cut off that little piece of plastic to say, okay, it's not there anymore, doesn't change the fact that you're getting peed on.
You weren't peed on.
It's not the minor children and grandchildren are the ones who are going to enjoy it the most. They're going to laugh.
Right. I'm just upset that they had children. They procreated.
Right.
You've created another whole family, 2 more generations of these idiots.
He did say sexual styled assault. Okay.
I bet things don't get very exciting in Izzy and James. I bet all those kids were conceived missionary.
It peed on me.
Yeah, well.
Not pee.
They're doing an investigation into this. I'm sure as soon as they leave town, the Nashville cops will be like, we're all good here.
It was the equivalent of a plastic cup spilling on her.
Yes, right.
It was a piece of plastic that squirted water.
It assaulted me.
I like it when they squirt it in your mouth.
Now you're getting kinky.
Yeah, you
At
guys
the hibachi place?
Yeah, they squirt it in your mouth.
They don't do that with guys. I think that's one of those fun things they do with women.
I'm a weird girl.
You're sitting there with your mouth, squirt it in my mouth. And if it's a little pea boy, all the better.
How was that one? He flicked a little shrimp right into my shirt pocket. That was very cool.
I just love it so much.
Ruined my shirt, though. Bastard.
It is very entertaining, though, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that stuff. All right, we're just going to keep, it just keeps getting weirder from here. I don't know if it gets weirder than that, but, so we've been reading a lot about body parts this year. There's been a black market for body parts out there. People have been buying and selling skulls and arms and legs and organs and all of this kind of thing, and a lot of it has generated out of Pennsylvania. As we read these stories, that was the whole human body part trading thing. And this is a separate story out of Pennsylvania, but also includes body parts with a twist. A 26-year-old guy named Joshua busted last month, like I said, in Pennsylvania, after he stashed a human brain in a Walmart bag underneath his relative's porch. The relative ended up calling the cops. Yeah, when they found the brain under their porch, Josh told them he had the brain because it was preserved in formaldehyde. Yeah, he's not one of these weirdos that just wants a brain. He's one of these weirdos that soaks his marijuana in formaldehyde before he smokes it. Jesus, could it get any stronger now? Have you smoked any pot lately? That stuff will blow the top of your head. I mean, actually, it'll just, you'll become a part of the furniture. Mm-hmm. That wasn't enough for Josh. He laced his with formaldehyde. I guess it has the same effect. Remember PCP? Kids were jumping out of windows. Angel dust. By the way, they have a disclaimer here. It's super dangerous. Yeah, I imagine it would. Smoking formaldehyde. The cops think he stole the brain from a medical teaching lab again. He was charged with abuse of a corpse.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so that happened. Just smoking the brain, man.
Ugh.
Keep that brain around, Josh. You'll need a new one soon. Pat Kirshner in Columbus, Ohio, was driving to work on Tuesday when an armored car passed her. Yeah, let's do a good story, something to restore our faith in humanity. Now, the back door of the truck opens. It hit a bump. $11,000 in cash fell out. So you're following this. Let's play that game morals, all right? You're following the armored truck. The back door of the truck opens up. There's no other cars around, by the way. It's just you two out on the road. And boom, $11,000 in cash falls out. The driver of the armored car didn't notice. Just keeps on trucking. Candace?
Yes.
What do you do?
I mean...
$11,000 in cash. They're not going to know it was you. They're not going to know who picked it up.
I can't do that stuff.
No, you can't?
I am a big karma girl.
Yeah, right.
I can't. I'm not ready to face the consequences of that kind of karma.
I can dig it. I knew you'd say that. Tony?
Yeah, I pocket it.
Yeah, right.
And wish it was more.
Yeah. I think you're teasing. I don't know. He's such a good guy, but you don't know about people until we're faced with these kind of things. Obviously, I would keep it. No, I don't know. I would give all 4,000 back. The woman collected all the money, called the police to return it, even though, now listen to this, she has 4 kids and has to close the trunk of her car with a bungee cord. Here is Pat talking about what happened.
You saw the way the change hit the ground and then just sprayed out like this, like a halo with the sunshine. I just went, oh my goodness, it's money. And then it again, the other one with all the dollar bills going like this. It was definitely something out of a movie. We were both laughing, picking up money off the ground, and I said, I can't even put $1 in my pocket without feeling guilty about it. It's not my money.
Well, good for you. No, so she did the right thing. So it was change and cash, I guess. They gathered it up, gave it back. No reward, but start a GoFundMe for it. Come on, bank. Buy her a freaking car that she doesn't have to close the trunk with a bungee cord. Pay it forward,
something.
Get her done. Why not? That's what I'm thinking. Don't hold your sneezes in. Candace, I think you do this, don't you?
No.
Don't do it holding in a sneeze. It might seem polite, but you might think twice after hearing this cautionary tale. A case report published in the British Medical Journal recounted the story of a 34-year-old man who ended up with a hole in his throat after suppressing a forceful sneeze. It blew a hole in his throat.
Oh, my God.
After attempting to halt the sneeze by pinching his nose and closing... Bless
That was
you.
real. That was weird. You said
that?
sneeze and I sneezed.
Ow.
Well, you weren't just goofing?
No, that was real. That was real. It was real.
Okay, I didn't see you cover your mouth. Who's on the board next? Woody? Just try and clean up some of the snot. Good thing you didn't hold it in. We don't blow a hole in your neck. After attempting to, he pinched his nose. I don't know that you need to get that to hold in the sneeze. If you got to pinch and close your mouth. Was that real?
That was not.
All right. Concerned about his symptoms, he sought medical attention, which revealed swelling and tenderness in his neck and trapped air streaks in his throat tissue.
Oh, man.
Trapped air streaks? That's weird. Typically resulting from trauma, surgery, or infection meant that he had unintentionally ruptured his own throat.
Lordy.
Let it go. Let it fly. Let your sneeze fly, just like Candace. Maybe turn your head or cover your mouth or something like that. But
it's kind of all over my chest and.
Oh, she's mucusy.
She is nice and mucusy. Was that real?
That was not me.
Okay, that wasn't real. I think I could tell the difference. Yeah, we've unleashed Tony now. He's up to no good. I know that wasn't real.
That's a good one.
Listen, that might be a game show there. Are these sound effects real or not?
All right.
I could fart almost on demand. Candace can work up a sneeze.
That's right. Steve can burp.
Burp on command, or is it a sound effect that Tony's playing? Well, that's for another time. Tony, Candace, and Zepp getting it done. Steve will be back on Monday morning. We're driving on and having a little fun with a game show we like to call Shock the Monkey, Tony.
Yep, that's exactly right, Mr. Man.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
The KQ Morning Show presents...
Shock the monkey. Shock the monkey. We've got an animal going into shock here. Shock the monkey.
Shock the monkey. Yeah, what we're going to do is test your knowledge, your random trivia skills, your ability to guess. So we've strapped a monkey to a metal chair right here in the studio, and we're going to fire off really weird and easy trivia questions. Now, I'm going to switch it up a little bit because I realized I made them kind of easy today.
All right.
So get it wrong, and you get ridiculed by all of us. But get it right, you get to send 2,000 volts of electricity into the hide of an unfortunate chimp.
So if they get it right, they shock the monkey.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's exciting.
It's a treat.
It is today, and it's like we're playing because we get to lampoon, lambast our contestants. Now, we'll go easy on you, I think. No. Candace, who's up first?
We have Teresa from Waverly.
Teresa, good morning.
Good morning.
A day off to a fine start?
Yeah, I am.
All right, so far so good. We might add some tickets to it. A little fun for you here in the future. Thorogood or Renaissance Festival tickets. Let's find out if you can shock the monkey. We'll turn it over to Tony.
Okay, here's your first question. The show on HBO called The Sopranos was about singers, protagonists of the opera. True or false?
False.
All right.
Burnt hair.
Got to give the monkey some pain. Number 2, the 2 most visited homes in the United States are the White House and Graceland.
True.
Teresa, you're a cruel woman.
Wow. Poor ape.
Cool. What'd I say? Cruel? Cool.
She's both. Number 3, the molten rock that erupts from a volcano and forms lava when it cools is called magma. Is that true or false?
True.
Oh, I heard it. Who's that other voice in the background providing guidance to you?
Yeah.
Oh, that was my hubby.
All right, he's a smart
But
rascal.
I knew it anyway.
I love it when husbands play the game, the wives go into another room, and when the wives play the game, the husbands are sitting right there over their shoulder. It's true,
Exactly.
true.
It's
Right
true.
near you, aren't they?
Shock the monkey, honey. Number
What's he
Number 4, female attendance in martial arts classes went up by 50% since October of 2000 because of the release of the movie Charlie's Angels.
False.
No. No, it is actually true, believe it or not.
It's hard to believe. So Charlie's Angels inspired women to take karate. I remember seeing the movie. I don't remember the karate stuff. Okay.
Drew
take your word for
Barrymore,
it.
Cameron Diaz, Lucy Liu kicking ass.
That's right.
All right, one down. Number 5, Da Vinci's Mona Lisa can be seen displayed at the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio.
False.
They do have a bust of his head, however, I think. He was a hell of a linebacker. He was an outside blitzing linebacker, Da Vinci, way ahead of his time.
All right, here's your last one, dear. The closest planet to the sun is Venus.
False.
Correct. It is Mercury, of course.
Did you see the headline this morning?
What up?
This was a NASA headline this morning. I kid you not. NASA wants your help studying Uranus from behind.
It does not say
Yeah, it
that.
says it was an actual headline this week. A probe called New Horizons passed Uranus years ago, and next month NASA is spinning it around to check out Uranus from the backside. I'm on their website. I'm sorry. I got away from our game. What is she, 3 for 4?
She only missed 1.
Oh, it's 4 for 5? Was that the deal? How many were there?
5 for 6.
I got to pay attention here. All right, 5 for 6. Teresa, you kicked ass there. You and your husband, that is. All right, hang tight. Candace, up next.
Adam from Hastings.
Good morning, Adam.
Morning.
All right, well, you've got your work cut out for you. Teresa really got the job done there. Shocked the hell out of that monkey. You ready to give it a whirl?
Yeah.
All right, Tony.
Adam, how's the beer stube in Hastings?
Doing well, yes.
Love that place.
Yeah.
All right, Adam, number 1, the largest canyon in the world is the Grabowski Canyon. True or false?
False.
Where is that Grabowski Canyon at?
That's just south.
That sounds like something like Uranus. I don't want to see Grabowski's Canyon.
Why am I laughing at that?
I don't know. It's not funny.
Number 2, the band Pablo Cruz took its name from the bass player, actor Tom Cruise's younger brother.
True.
No.
Oh, my goodness.
The monkey gets a little bit of a break there. All I remember about Pablo Cruz, his mom had the album, and it just disturbed me. There was a bunch of white guys with afros. I think most of them were white. Maybe some of them were Hispanic, and they had no shirts on, like 5 guys with no shirts on the cover of the album. Weird.
Odd that you remember that so.
I remember it.
I had this great print of the Stones. It was a promotional print, and it was the Stones, Jagger, and they all had their shirts off too, and they were wearing like mascara. It was super cool looking. Remember my dad coming into my apartment at the time, and he's like, "What's going on there?" He wasn't familiar with the Stones. But,
it's okay, son. I still love you.
Yeah.
All right, what do we 1 for 2 here with Adam?
Yeah, that's right. Number 3, the retro video game Space Invaders involved shooting at invaders from space.
True.
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
Number 4, for 6 months in the early 80s, singer Taylor Swift worked as a server at the Perkins in Bloomington. What's so funny about that? It could have happened.
Could have happened.
Number 5. Brian's dad, Skip Zepp, has a near obsessive appetite for lima beans.
Say that again, sorry.
Brian's dad, Skip Zepp, has a near obsessive appetite for lima beans.
False.
Oh, my goodness. He does.
Yeah.
Cripes.
I don't know how you might know that. I mean, I have talked about it on the air. It does drive me crazy. It's a scar from my childhood years, but that's all right, Adam. That's 2 down. Oh, that's it. I think Teresa
No, there's
won.
one more.
Oh, is there one more?
One
Okay.
more, Adam. The famous O.J. Simpson low-speed chase on the streets of L.A. took place in a white Mazda Miata.
Yeah, ended with a good shock there. You ended strong, Adam, but you did get 2 wrong. Teresa only had 1 wrong. She shocked the monkey a bit more. Popped an eyeball out, I believe that Teresa did, out of our monkey here. And so she will be going to see George Thorogood at the Buck Hill Concert Series, September 16th. Sue McLean Associates, thank you for the tickets. But hey, Adam, you've got some Renaissance Festival tickets. That's good for a drunk and a good time.
Sure.
Yeah, never been. Thank you.
Drinking the beer out there. All right, Adam, Teresa, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, gang.
They just both realized they were part of a ridiculous operation.
I just realized that for the first time myself. 35 years in radio, and it just occurred to me, what the hell am I doing with my life? Can I do this when I'm 80? Am I going to make it to 80? Great news, you're not old now until you're 80. Did you guys know that?
Oh, good.
Yeah. A new Harris poll asked more than 2,000 Americans age 79. And just 2,000 Americans. You're not officially old now until you're 80? Really? 80? Well, you know what? Because we're acting so much younger, right? I mean, I had some guy, I was out skiing last winter, and some old guy just came blasting by me. We get down to the bottom, I come up there, we ended up sharing a chair and going back up. Turns out the guy was 74 years old.
All right.
Just out there kicking A. And that's what it's all about. Most people agreed that Americans 60 and up are more active than they used to be, more willing to try new things. Well, just a better quality of life, right?
Sure. People are living longer, better medical procedures. It's attitude, baby.
It's all about attitude. That's what they say. Seniors are more optimistic about their future. 71% say the best days of their life are happening now or are still out in front of them. We got that to look forward to. That's cool. Candace, do you have tattoos?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought I remember. We talked about this before. They're all the rage now. I thought they might sort of phase out. I don't know when they got big, like 20 years ago. I had my tattoos back in the early 80s when you would walk into a tattoo shop, if you could find one, and they had like 8 tattoos. There was the American flag. There was the Grim Reaper, the anchor, eagles, lots of eagles. That was my first tattoo, was a good old eagle. A naked lady with mom on the ass or something like that. There were very few tattoos, and now, I mean, everybody's getting them. I thought it might phase out after a while. The next generation would say, but there are people still crazy about them, so much so that now tattoos are the hot new party favor at weddings.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Cute.
Yeah, people are hiring them as vendors so guests can get ink during the reception. Well, what if they get divorced? The idea is to give people a permanent memento to remember your wedding by. Can you get whatever you want, or do you have to get,
Probably.
like the date
No,
or Mr. and
it's
Mrs.
probably
Club or something like that? Yeah.
That would be dumb.
I could see temp tattoos because it takes a while.
Yeah,
Not really, if you get a little one. I got a medium one. It only took about 25 minutes.
Yeah, that's not too bad. A wedding photographer in Kansas posted a video last week after a client hired a tattoo artist for their cocktail hour. They're not free. You got to pay up to $60 for these. I'm out. You know what? I want a full sleeve. We'll be here for a while. Just get stuck. I'll skip the wedding and get the tattoo. Either way, most seem to agree doing it early in the reception is the way to go. Don't have tattoos available once everyone's drunk. Well, they don't. A lot of places these days won't do them now if you're smashed.
They want to make money, though.
Yeah, they want to make money.
That's perfect.
Absolutely. Nudists battling back to protect their beaches. Over in Spain, being nude on a beach is not illegal. Cops won't throw you in jail for skinny dipping in the ocean or the sea or the lake or the river. Spaniards, they just let it all hang out. The nudist and the people who prefer swimming with clothes on sort of police themselves. You just do your thing. The self-policing has become a bit of an issue, however, because the nudists do not like the people with the clothes on. A leader of a nudist federation. Stop it! I don't care if you want to get naked. It's not going to bother me at all. I might even enjoy it. I don't know. It depends what you're, showing off there. But don't start a nudist federation. Now you're just making it weird, aren't you?
I want to see the logo for the nudist federation. Kind of patch.
A tattoo. Leader of a nudist federation wants people to respect the history of these nude beaches. Stop it. And says a lack of respect of newcomers who make us uncomfortable wants the newcomers to make different decisions. Wants them to strip down. Quit walking around with your swimsuit. Either leave or strip down. Mm-hmm. Piss off. Good Lord. Babe Ruth bat sold for over $1 million.
Oh, man.
Should we be collecting stuff? I have a buddy, Jimmy, lives there in South Minneapolis, has a hoarder house, but it's not like garbage and diapers and, old cigarette cartons and that kind of stuff. It's collectible stuff. He's just one of these guys. It's going to be worth some money someday. One of those guys, he just grabs everything. He's got a shoebox with every ticket stub of every concert he's gone to since 1974. Right. It's kind of cool to be in his place, but it's so packed in there. You can't even really move around. It's not like smartly put out where you can just kind of, oh, look at that. You've got Larry Bird over there. But he just grabs everything. You go out to a Saints game, if there's a broken bat and they throw it in the garbage, that could be worth some money someday. You never know. That player might end up in the... But anyway, someone saved Babe Ruth's bat, and that sold for over $1 million, identified by using a photo from a 1923 exhibition game. It's the second highest price for a Ruth bat this year, after a private sale in April for a bat used by the Slugger in the early 1920s brought in $1.85 million. Back in those days when he was playing ball, you could probably just go down there and take one of his bats after the game. Mm-hmm. Kind of free to do what you want, but yeah.
I have this Chiquita banana football that I had signed by a bunch of Vikings when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And the ink started to fade. It's like an idiot, but I was a kid.
Yeah.
I drew over the signatures with a pen to make it look fresh. Is it totally destroyed now?
Yeah, I would think so, right? I mean, but the original signatures, don't ask me, what do I know? If you're out there and you know something about collectibles, because it's the original signatures, but you just went over them again, I'm guessing it's worth less. Some collector's they're not going to like that or be able to verify it maybe. But again, don't ask me. It might be worth a couple of bucks. You never know. This is shocking. A California woman, remember we talked about frogging a month ago or so? This is where people will just come and live in your home when you're not there. They're calling this an act of frogging, but this woman still lives there. She found a man living under her house. Oh my God. And it turns out he's been there for like 3 months. This is the video Ashley Gardino made as the officers got him off the property. That's not, my little audio thing.
Beef stroganoff.
And there it is. That was anticlimactic because I can't play the freaking audio. It's just, I get that little circle spinning. It's one of those days. All right, we're going to come back to that. Let's move along. We have a guest coming up here at 8 o'clock we want to get to and some other crazy stories this morning. We're going to be speaking with Alex Parsons of the Alan Parsons Project. No, Alan Parsons of the Crown Jewels. The Crown Jewels, a tribute to Queen, and all the Rock the Voices featuring the Crown Jewels is coming. All proceeds from the concert benefit Northern Voices, a nonprofit helping children with hearing loss and their families communicate through listening and spoken language. We're going to talk to Alex here at 8 o'clock. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
Rock and roll. I was just literally banging my head right there.
Careful.
And not paying attention to what we have here in front of us. Black Sabbath on KQ92. It is the morning show. Tony, Candace, and Zep holding down the fort here this morning. And our special guest, Alex Parsons, doesn't appear to be ready. I think he's just calling in right now, Candace. We're going to be talking about Rock the Voices featuring the Crown Jewels, a tribute to Queen. And all the money from this concert goes to Northern Voices. That's a nonprofit helping kids with hearing loss and their families communicate through listening and spoken language. This is happening Saturday, September 8th. It's an 8 o'clock show at the Parkway Theater. Great theater in Minneapolis, just off Chicago Avenue. And I think we have Alex ready to go. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning. How are you guys this morning?
Fantastic. Great to have you on here this morning. First, let's talk about, before we get to Rock the Voices, let's talk about the Crown Jewels. And now you are the lead singer. You are our Freddie Mercury this morning.
Yes. So we've been in the Twin Cities area here for the past 12 years and rocking things out. We are the Midwest premier Queen tribute act and having a great time this summer. Lots of shows at different festivals, theaters, outdoor concert series this summer.
Yeah, I was on your website last night when I knew you were going to be one of our guests, checking out some of the vids on your website, mnqueentribute.com, by the way. You want to check that out. And, you guys really kick it. And you do the whole tribute thing. You bring the look, and you certainly do bring the sound. It's pretty fun. And you guys have been at it for a lot of years here. I think I've run into you guys a couple of times at a couple of different shows. I know I've been out to a couple of your shows. I don't know exactly when, but, you give the whole show. It's really fantastic.
Yeah, rock on. That's awesome to hear. Yeah, we love it. This is just an absolute blast for us. So, I think for us, we want to really make it our own, but still, pay tribute to Queen. Obviously, the whole band loves Queen. So our goal is, one, we want to make it sound as full as possible. We've got 2 different amazing backup singers, keyboards, drums, guitar, bass. So we're really getting 5 and sometimes even 6 different people singing at times to get all those harmonies and all the different pieces correct. And then we're always looking to just have a good time.
Yeah. You certainly put the work into it. That's evident. Okay, so the Crown Jewels, a tribute to Queen for Rock the Voices. This show is coming up September 8th. We were just talking about it as you were joining us on the air at the Parkway Theater, a great venue right off Chicago Avenue over there. Been renovated. Let's talk about the Rock the Voices and how you got involved.
So I've got personal history with Northern Voices. Northern Voices is a absolutely wonderful organization, and what they do is they offer kids a chance to truly thrive by helping children with hearing loss and their families communicate through listening and spoken language. Really a unique service. You can check them out, northernvoices.org. Personally, my 6-year-old daughter went there. When she first got there, she started going to Northern Voices shortly after she got cochlear implants. She's deaf. Mm-hmm. And when she was there, she couldn't speak at all when we brought her there. And now she's testing well above the average and really thriving now that she's going into first grade this year.
No, well, you've got to be very excited about that. That's very cool. Northernvoices.org, by the way. And this is one of those charities, that there are a lot of fantastic charities out there. It kind of slips through the cracks. If you don't have someone with hearing loss or that is deaf in your family, you may not have heard about it. And so it's great that obviously it's personal to you, and you guys are bringing this big show to the Parkway Theater. Rock the Voices, again, happening on September 8th. I'm on the parkwaytheater.com, by the way. Website tickets, very modestly priced, $35 in advance for this charitable donation, $45 if you wait till the night of the show. But go to parkwaytheater.com and get your tickets, a benefit for Northern Voices. And I imagine you guys are just going to play your guts out for this one.
This is going to be a special show. I think everybody in the band loves doing these shows. It's an all-ages show as well. Please bring out the whole family. We're going to have fake mustaches for everybody on
Yeah.
So we want to see as much facial hair as possible out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Our guest, Alex Parsons of the Crown Jewels. You've got this show this September 8th at the Parkway Theater in Minneapolis. We're excited for it. I'm going to get out to it. I'm going to get on the parkwaytheater.com and buy myself a ticket.
Oh, you're not going to be sitting by me, are you?
I'm going to be sitting right on your lap. And we're going to be singing along.
Come out there. Now, we do something special at our shows. We bring people up for Fat Bottom Girls. I'd love to see you guys on stage with us.
I've been up there with you.
Take it for the audience.
Just don't stick a microphone in my face. Yeah, just don't stick the microphone in my face. It'll clear the house, but I'll get up there. I'll get up there and shake it with you guys on stage for sure. I would love this. Rock the Voices featuring the Crown Jewels, a tribute to Queen, one of our local bands here that's been just knocking it out of the park with Queen performances, tribute concerts for many years. And all the proceeds from this concert benefit Northern Voices, the nonprofit helping kids with hearing loss and their families communicate through listening and spoken language. Alex, we're looking forward to the show. We'll keep plugging it. We'll keep talking about it. Come back and join us as it gets a little closer to the show, if there's any tickets left, and we'll see you there.
Hey, rock on. You guys keep up all the great work. Love you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's going to be fun. Yeah, I was checking out some videos of these guys. They sound fantastic. Of course, they look great. Are these guys going up to the big tribute thing that you've got coming up here in Duluth?
I don't know about that, but I've seen them multiple times, and they're so fun. Yeah, really great at engaging the audience, and he just sounds exactly like him. It's freaky.
Yeah, I know. I think it was like back in, I don't know, I'm going to say when the heck was it? 2012 or 13? No, it was a little bit later than that. It was 15 or 16 that I saw those guys, and I thought they were great. And I didn't know, we're going to see a Queen tribute. And I thought, okay, great. This should be fun. Some of them are hit or miss. Have you seen that Black Sabbath one, Sabotage?
Oh,
No,
my
I'm
God.
teasing. But yeah, I was blown away, and suddenly I feel like I'm at a Queen show because I didn't get to see Queen.
And fake mustaches. I love that.
Maybe a mustache ride for the after party.
Do you guys remember a pancake house called Uncle John's?
No.
They existed when I was a kid, and they would give out fake mustaches. Little paper mustaches. Really cute.
Yeah, I had no idea.
That's cute.
Isn't it adorable?
Yeah.
That is adorable. Who drinks the most coffee?
You.
Do you think I do?
Yeah.
I drink so much damn coffee. I have had at least one big cup before you guys even get to the station. Because I start right away at home and I guzzle it. I'm on cup number 2 now. I'm just jacked right now. If the only thing that inspires you to roll out of bed in the morning is a hot cup of coffee, well, I put it to you this way. If I didn't have any coffee available to me and then I got here and there was no coffee, I would do the show. I'm a pro. I would step up, but it wouldn't be my finest hour, certainly. Finest 4 hours. I'd be cranky-er. I'd go, it'd be like a roller coaster. I'd be super cranky to super quiet and pissed off, and that's why I got to have my coffee. I'm addicted to caffeine. Career Builder and Dunkin' Donuts surveyed 4,700 workers nationwide to find out who needs their coffee the most. I don't see broadcasters on here. What the hell's going on? I'm just going to go with the top 10. Financial professionals, whatever. Social workers, all right, they're doing the job. Professors, really? Do they need coffee? Professors? Food preparers, okay. Physicians, yeah, let's keep them alert. Don't want anybody dozing off in the room there. Healthcare administrators, editors and writers, scientists, and lab technicians. All right, I guess that works for me. Oh, the McDonald's customer that found pennies in their chicken McNuggets. Did you hear about this?
They bit into a penny?
They did not bite into it. This happened in Ohio. I was just looking at this story this morning. Family finds pennies in their chicken. In fact, I have the news story. Let's just go to that.
A family's game night turned scary when they found pennies inside of a local McDonald's chicken nugget.
Wintersville Police was dispatched to Wintersville McDonald's at approximately 8 p.m. Took a statement from one of the customers, took a report in reference to them finding pennies inside their chicken nuggets. They ordered food from the restaurant and they found 3 pennies inside their food.
We also met with Beth Rupert Warren, who says it was her family that found the money.
Looked at it and it looked like it was fine, but then when they broke it open, they could see this brown object inside of it that looked like a penny. And this is no reflection on our local McDonald's. I mean, this appears to be like a manufacturing. My biggest fear, our fear, was that somebody's going to hand their child a chicken nugget in the back seat of their car, in their car seat, and they could choke on something like this.
So the chickens are all being ground up into a fine puree, and then they're putting them in the nugget molds, or however they do that, right? That's how that happens. They hit the conveyor belt. There's a little cooking process and into the plastic bags and off to the various McDonald's around the world. This one in Ohio. How the hell did the pennies get in there? Someone asleep at the wheel there?
I know. Who carries loose change anymore?
Look how she says McDonald's.
McDonald's. Mickey D's. They've got some explaining to do. And, yeah, thank goodness a kid didn't end up choking on that. Imagine biting down on that, too. Ouch. That sucked. A TikToker walking around Beverly Hills asked what the average American makes. All right, these are teenagers that live in Beverly Hills. What do you think? About $50,000 a year, I bet? Probably sounds your average American. I mean, your average American worker probably brings home about 50, 60 maybe, depending on where you're at in your life. but not according to these Beverly Hills teenagers. They asked, what does the average American make?
How much do you think the average American makes a year?
Maybe like 400K.
How much do you think the average American makes a year?
I don't know, maybe like $500,000.
How much do you think that the average American makes a year?
90 to 100K.
How much do you think the average American makes a year?
200,000? 250,000?
No, I guess I heard 400,000, a half a million.
Half a million.
90 to 100, and about 2 to 250. Does that sound about right?
Yep.
Yeah, it must be good to be a teenager walking around Beverly Hills. Good for them.
Good for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I hope
that's
hot. I hope they stay in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
And they never wander out. Some people need to wander out, though. You need to get out a little bit more, interact with human beings. Being shut up by yourself all the time, it's not necessarily a good thing. It leads to weird behavior. There's a 54-year-old guy named Peter Scolari from Cranberry, Pennsylvania. That sounds nice, doesn't it? I live in Cranberry, Pennsylvania.
Peter Scolari. He was the guy who starred opposite Tom Hanks.
I'm probably
in
pronouncing
Bosom Buddies.
that, right? Okay, that's not this guy.
Isn't it?
Well, and this guy's 54 years old, so he wouldn't be. Scolari. Scolari? Maybe?
Okay.
Scolari? I don't know. Anyways, from Cranberry.
Scolari.
Ba-ding, ba-dum, boom, ba-bing. Owns a bridal shop. Peter does. But last week after the store closed, apparently he got drunk and got naked and had a little party with the mannequins in the store window.
Okay.
As after all those years of being around those beautifully dressed mannequins, I guess the sexual tension just got the best of him. But he didn't do anything sexual with them. They were just hanging out, I guess. Unfortunately for him, a few people saw him in the window partying naked with the mannequin and called the cops. Peter was arrested for indecent exposure, open lewdness, and disorderly conduct in Cranberry, Pennsylvania. What do you suppose the population is there? Think he'll ever live that down?
Oh, man.
Yeah, no. And no one's going to buy a wedding dress from you anymore, Pete. No one's going to go in that creepy store. What did you do with this dress? Pete, exactly. At least if you're on drugs, if you're all messed up on drugs, that's an explanation for your behavior. I'm looking at a 25-year-old guy here from Aberdeen, Washington. Every state seems like has an Aberdeen. Got high on a ton of synthetic marijuana last week. That's still out there, I guess. Then he wandered over to a stranger's house and went on an odd rampage. First, he dropped his pants. Then he pooped in the driveway. Then he grabbed a garbage can and started having sex with it. Well, now you're just showing off.
Wondering where and how.
There's a picture of him. I see the pixelated butt crack, and he's humping a garbage can.
Uh-huh.
Well, haven't we all been there? Yeah. The cops came, took him to a hospital for evaluation. Yeah, stay off that synthetic marijuana. Again, we talked earlier, there's a guy that stole a brain because it was soaking in formaldehyde, and he liked to soak his pot in formaldehyde, as if pot isn't, stout enough that you've got to, I don't know, whatever. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Just say no.
Just say no to synthetic pot and humping trash cans. I don't know.
Some of them are sexily crafted.
Yeah, they are.
There's some good-looking cans out there, if I do say so myself.
If I do say so myself. The 5 main lessons from self-help books. I thought this was kind of bogus, but then I got into it and I went, there might be something here. We're going to talk about that. We've got some other weird stories. Police searching for a screaming woman. They did not find a screaming woman. Guess what they found? We have the audio here at 8:30. I will tell you all about it, Candace, but you've got to hang tight.
Uh-huh. Is that right?
That's right.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
Yeah, we might need you to jump on the line here and entertain us this morning. I was telling Tony during the break that, computer issues, aren't they the worst? That bring your life to a grinding halt. Yesterday, my daughter called me. I'm not going to bust which one it was, but she was crying, sobbing a little bit. Worst thing a parent wants to hear when your kid calls. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? She said, my phone is frozen. Now, listen, she had an important appointment, and she was trying to get a hold of this person to let them know she was going to be a little bit late, and her phone completely froze. It wouldn't turn off. It wouldn't go to anything else. She found some weird hack on her laptop that allowed her to push the up button 3 times, down button 3 times, and then hit the other button on the side, and it finally worked. But, when it comes – so during that last segment we were doing, I had to restart my computer in here twice. I was just – telling stories based on memory, which never works. I need a computer in front of me with information. And so that was a disaster.
Yeah, you feel so helpless.
You do. You know, you're sitting here, time feels like it's slowed down to tick, talk, you know, like I can't, my computer's, and you're looking at your computer going, just 1 minute, we'll be right with you. Hey, Hairball rocking the benefit, the Isanti Fire District tomorrow at the Isanti Rodeo Ground. That's a great place to catch a show. I was just up there for the Dirty Rotten Biker Festival, not just. That was in the spring. It's flying by, isn't it, boys and girls? So join Lisa Miller tomorrow and the KQ crew from 6 to 8. Grab some prizes, some swag, followed by the one and only Hairball. Get your tickets at 92kqrs.com. Again, Hairball rocks to benefit the Isanti Fire District tomorrow at the Isanti Rodeo Grounds. So that's pretty damn cool. Reena Calm, is that her name, Candace? Reena Calm, going to be at Laugh Camp Comedy. She's going to join us here at 9 o'clock. I know. So she has a book called Once Upon a Time. And I know some people, puns drive them crazy. I mentioned it to Tony before we started the show, and he kind of like, really? And I said, no. She is supposed to be the queen of puns. I kind of like them because, yeah, they're corny and they're screwy. Like our boy Tony over here. Maybe they just remind him too much of himself.
Yeah, I'm corny.
I have a dad sense of humor, so I like them.
Dad jokes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
While I was screwing around there trying to get my computer back on, we'll see if this works. The audio hasn't been working that great this morning. I've came across this old piece of audio because Mike Evans mentioned this morning that the Boys Little League World Series just getting started. We had a piece of audio. ESPN last night was interviewing a mom and dad as their kid hit a home run while they were being interviewed. That was pretty cool. Then I found this old piece of audio, I guess it's a few years old, from a high school coach that was fired after getting a little too excited during a post-win speech. These are, what age is this? Okay, so these are 12-year-olds he's talking to, 7th graders. Here we go.
Oh, state! Yeah! We got this right here. No one else has it. It's ours. Yeah! You guys showed up. You played the game. You played it right. You never panicked. You got type 1 diabetes. Yeah!
I remember that.
You remember that? It's like, yeah. And those were high school kids, by the way. Those were not 12-year-olds. I was just checking out the old story. Isn't that fantastic? I love that piece of audio. He got diabetes, and we still won the state championship. And he got fired for that, but somebody else ended up hiring him. Candace, I've heard of this story before. A dog getting stuck in a car's grill. Yeah, well, Candace, there's a happy ending here, I believe. This is a poodle that got stuck in a guy's car grill. He thought he had swerved and missed the dog, so he kept going. But it turns out the dog got in the grill somehow and was just kind of hanging on for dear life for 11 miles.
Oh, my God.
You know, we looked around trying to find her. I drove around the neighborhood. I called the local dog offices and went to the local vet, told them I missed the dog, and haven't heard anything. I just figured the worst, basically.
A driver reported that he had swerved to miss her and thought he had. So he kept driving 50 miles an hour down the highway and into Rhode Island.
11 miles later that someone flagged him down and said, hey, you got a dog stuck in the grill of your car. Basically, the dog was kind of wedged in because of the plate, but it was also holding on. It was gripping the edge of the bumper, just kind of holding on for dear life.
It's just amazing. I just have no idea how she made it without getting killed. It's just amazing.
Oh, it's wonderful. Very, very surprised. Very happy. She's a miracle.
A little poodle hanging on for 11 miles for
just see
dear
those
life
little
there.
paws gripping and tongue hanging out.
Oh, Gigi could get stuck anywhere in a car. She's so little.
She is. She's a little thing. But do you think she can make it? Think she can handle it?
No.
No, probably not. Hopefully we'll never find out. I doubt you let Gigi just loose.
No.
Out on her own. Your way.
No.
You're an overprotective parent, a helicopter parent, I believe they call them, right?
Yes.
Don't let her out of your sight.
No.
Well, remember we used to do misconnections? I haven't looked at them in a long time on Craigslist. I did peek this morning. They're still there, only because I was a little surprised that this story brought up Craigslist misconnections. You don't hear about Craigslist. They've sort of been supplanted by, some other websites that do the same thing. But they're still out there. They're still kicking. People are still using it, and they're still trying to find misconnections. This one's not what you think. Two guys named Elliot Fuller and Jason Franklin over in Wisconsin riding a canoe down a creek. I don't know where Wabeno, Wisconsin is. Last week, they saw a leg sticking out of a beaver dam.
What, a human leg?
A human leg sticking out of a beaver dam. You're just paddling along. Do you paddle over to it or do you just call 911?
You poke at it?
Yeah, what do you guys do? Are you going to paddle over if you see the leg sticking? Now, I should qualify it was an artificial leg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they paddled over to check it out, realized it was a prosthetic leg, took it home, as you do. They decided to check Craigslist on the off chance that someone had posted about it. I guess in Wabeno, those smaller communities, if people are using Craigslist misconnections for, hey, I lost my fishing pole, and if anybody sees it down by that's how they talk over in Wisconsin, I guess.
Yeah, you seen my leg.
Yeah, for some reason they went to Craigslist, missed connections. Believe it or not, someone had. The leg belonged to a 49-year-old guy named Mark Warner, lost it on a fishing trip 3 weeks earlier when his boat tipped over. One of his friends told him to post it on Craigslist just in case someone found it, and these guys found the leg, and he got his leg back. What are the odds?
Yeah, the boat tipped, and I lost my gam.
Yeah.
She floated away.
Imagine the convenience of unlocking your front door or just starting your car with a simple wave of your hand. Life is pretty easy for us right now. I think we can all agree. For most people, I mean, obviously there are trials and tribulations, and some people are going through some tough times. But for humanity, Americans as a whole, life's really never been easier. It's pretty convenient, but we're trying to make it more and more convenient. And I guess the latest thing is a chip in your body. And we've been talking about chips in your body for years, right? But they want to put a microchip in there so that all we have to do to unlock our doors or wave our hands, and then we can pay our bills with that. We just wave our hand. I wave a lot. I waved yesterday. What if I'm waving at someone and they're like, oh, got you with my phone. You just Venmo'd me $1,000. Well, Mania Windahl, a software engineer, has implanted 25 underskin chips into her body. That seems excessive. Yeah, it's RFID technology magnets that allow her to interact with various systems. At the DEF CON conference, she shared her journey of becoming interested in bioimplants, obsession, it sounds like, and has implanted 25 into her body. I guess they all do something. Important to note that these implants are passive. They only respond to corresponding readers, like swiping a payment card at a store or something like that. Right. The security risks for the implantee are also relatively low, as small, discreet, have a limited reader range. Well, if they can hack a computer, they can hack your phone. Mm-hmm. They've hacked my computer this morning. Why couldn't they hack the chips in your body? Mm-hmm. That couldn't be good. Make you do some weird things. You guys ready for a chip in your body?
That's inevitable.
For a night, maybe, not a lifetime.
You know what I'm ready for? Some booze with my Eggos.
Oh, yeah.
Tony and I were talking about this the other morning. I think this has happened before. Eggo has teamed up with Sugarlands Distilling to launch a new liquor called Eggo Brunch in a Jar Sippin' Cream.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a 20% alcohol, 40 proof, seamlessly blends the flavors of toasted Eggo waffles, sweet maple syrup, and rich butter with a hint of smoky bacon.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. A little sipping cream. Yeah, that's nice.
A little sipping cream right in there. Available at select retailers nationwide. Online, you can get it at sugarlands.com/brunch in a jar. It says this isn't the first time Eggo has gotten drunk. For the holidays last year, yeah, they partnered with the same distillery to make the Eggo waffle-flavored eggnog. Mm-hmm. What's next from those crazy kids? Can you imagine? Speaking of a party, I saw this. I started goofing around with Drizzly, DRIZLY, Grizzly, but Drizzly and one Z. Mm-hmm. It's a new hosting tool to help hosts throw the most epic party ever. I wouldn't do this, but Candace, you might be into this.
Yeah,
if you need a party idea to help consumers be the host or hostess with the mostest, Drizzly, an Uber company, and it says an Uber company, today announced the launch of its new party theme generator 3000. You just throw that on there to sound fancy, don't you? To use the generator, hosts simply click a button to randomly generate an epic party theme and get drink recommendations to match the theme, other tips to pump up the party. You want to check that out, drizzly.com.
All right.
Might be something there. Raccoons. I know you're a big fan, Candace.
Yuck.
Yeah, no kidding. A plague of invasive raccoons with a taste for German beer is wreaking havoc by raiding homes, killing treasured pets. They're breaking into homes. Homeowners have faced repair bills of up to 10,000 euros after returning from holiday and finding that the animals have destroyed their kitchens.
Me love beer.
Me love beer. Well, kill those suckers. You know what to do with them. Trap them.
Oh, I
Get rid of 'em.
fantasized about
Killing raccoons.
yes.
It can be done. You know, when we were
I'm
kids.
gonna have to do it one day to,
Well, as a kid, you'd get
satisfy
like
it.
$40 for a raccoon pelt. Obviously, I think they're worthless now. But when I was a kid, you would. Well, $40, that goes a long way back in the early 1980s, you know. So, yeah. So anyway, we used to go out and this was legal. You could do this in South Dakota, club them at night.
Oh,
Yeah, you put a spotlight on them and just whack them. And
that's tough. They're kind of cute and they're crafty, but they're
Not
kind of scary
city
too, and they're
nasty,
dexterous.
Fat city,
big rat.
slimy raccoons.
Big rat. How about here we go. A large section of Sayreville, New Jersey was knocked off the grid for several hours, and a repair crew concluded that the transformer exploded when a bird flying overhead dropped a fish onto it. Dropped a fish onto a transformer and blew out the power.
Was it pelican?
Well, I don't know. It doesn't say what the bird was. The fish just looks like your average fish. The humor of the situation was not lost on the local police department, which urged residents not to forget the victim in this senseless death, referring to the fish as Gilligan. Gilligan was a hardworking family man. He was a father to thousands of fish. The suspect was last seen flying south. If you see him, do not try to apprehend him. Although he isn't believed to be armed, he may still be very dangerous. They're very clever over there at the Sayreville, New Jersey Police Department. Yeah, so that knocked out. Dang, no kidding. Oh, man. A guy in Madison, Wisconsin took his Ford Mustang to a repair shop last week because he smelled smoke while he was driving. This is another story. Sorry, my computer froze up again. I'm just going to try and fake this. Anyway, they called the fire department, who put on their special breathing masks and unlocked the door to figure out where the smoke was coming from, and then that's when they saw what was wrong. Well, the guy had left a pair of underwear on the passenger seat. And somehow it caught fire on his Ford Mustang. I have a lot of questions.
Heated seats?
Yeah, I don't know. First of all, how do you know? Why is the underwear on the passenger seat? Why'd you take your underwear off?
Well,
why is it over there?
Romantic tryst.
Just how soiled was that pair of underwear to catch on fire in the car anyway?
No.
No?
There was a guy I worked with. They had to call the fire department because there was smoke everywhere. It turns out he was just making toast in the employee break room. He was just humiliated.
Oh, yeah. And then, it gets everywhere, and especially at work. When you do it at home, it just goes off. You got to get the towel out, just kind of wave it around and that whole thing, you know. But why not? All right. I'm just trying to get my computer going here again, gang. Sorry. One of those mornings. Thank God it's a Friday. You know, it's hooking back up. Do we ever talk about the show, Women Are Dating Homeless Men?
Oh, yeah. What's the story on that?
All right. Tiffany Haddish is producing a docuseries about women who only date homeless men. Mm-hmm. What is this weird fetish? She says, quote, I experienced homelessness myself and found that there was a stigma on it. I don't think there should be. Everyone deserves to be loved. Everyone deserves that. Well, yeah, sure, I guess. But I mean, if you're just dating a homeless guy because he's homeless, that's a little weird. It's a fetish. That's odd, don't you think?
And is it just for a night? Or do you continue on with the relationship and attempt to better their lives?
I don't know. We're going to have to watch the docuseries, Women Who Date Homeless Men. Right now it's on hold because of the SAG after strike, right? So we're just going to have to wait until that docuseries comes out. Boy, we can't wait, can we?
What do you say when you get together? You walk around and you go, nice place you got here.
Nice. Yeah, no kidding. It's a nice box you have down here.
Hey, respect people's kinks, boys. You gotta just back off.
All right. Anything about a homeless man that really gets it done for you,
Depends.
Candace?
Depends what he looks like. Yeah, I mean, you know.
Do you have a weird attraction?
Do
Candace?
I have a weird? So anything?
Yeah, like you say respect the kink. What would yours be?
Oh, I'm not going to tell you guys.
Oh, we got to get her a little drunk first.
Oh, I see.
You know what? Maybe you could join us. I know you've got your big Liney gig tonight at the Cub Foods. Which Cub Foods is it? 4 to 6 p.m.?
Champlin.
Champlin, Liney's Dog Days of Summer. But right now, we're talking about joining Tony Lee, our own Tony Lee, judging Famous Dave's All-Star Barbecue Series, noon to 4 at Famous Dave's, the one over in Minnetonka, just off Highway 7 there. Come on out and meet Tony and the KQ crew. Free samples while they last. They won't last long. Special appearance by famous Dave Anderson. Oh, wow. Famous Dave's going to be there?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, plus, this is big, a shot to win your own drum smoker. Famous Dave's on Highway 7 near 494 in Minnetonka. And I heard in the commercial, Tony, you're teaming up with a whiskey out there as well.
There are whiskey samples. That's tomorrow.
Yeah,
12 to 4, and it's free.
Tomorrow, 12 to 4, absolutely free. Come on by for some barbecue, maybe a little whiskey tasting, and you might win your own drum smoker. Famous Dave's, Highway 7, 494 Minnetonka with Tony Lee tomorrow from noon to 4.
That's going to be a blast.
All right, now I'm going to switch studios here. I'm going to go over to Steve's studio, which is vacant right now, and see if that works a little bit better. And we're going to welcome in our guest, Reena Calm. This week at Laugh Camp, they have Reena Calm. Wonderful. Her debut album came out last year, Comedy, #1 on a whole bunch of comedy album charts on Amazon, Apple, those kind of things. And she's literally touring, living in a converted minivan. She's homeless, and it's her full-time home. We're going to talk with Reena Calm at 9 o'clock. Stay calm and hang tight.
Oh, I see.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
Are we on the air?
Yeah.
Reena Calm and I were just chit-chatting, as one does, while Genesis is rocking out there on KQ 92. Tony's even scrambling. We're all scrambling around here. It is the KQ Morning Show because we've had some technical issues this morning, as you will. It's an imperfect world we live in. Good morning.
Hello.
Reena Calm. I love your name. Is that your real name, Reena?
It is, yeah.
It's probably rude to ask if that's your real name.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, it takes a lot of legal weed to live up to.
I know it. Reena Calm, you are at Laugh Camp. This weekend, I'm sorry, I'm working off my phone here.
Yeah, I'll
Your
be
shows, I imagine, are Friday and Saturday night.
They sure are.
Tonight and tomorrow.
Yes, I believe just one show each night. I love that club. It's a really great little room. Yeah.
And it's really coming on. I mean, they're booking people like yourself, but they have comedians every weekend, and they keep coming in, and we're having a good time. And so anyway, we've been talking. Let's just continue our chat.
Yeah.
It started with, where are you from? Where do you hail these days? But you're a bit of a gypsy these days.
Yeah, I always say I live in the moment and nobody wants to talk to me. But it's a long answer otherwise because you have some experience with this as well. I've been kind of boondocking around the country, and I just finished my goal of doing all 50 states, performing in all 50 states.
Whoa.
Yeah, so...
Do you have a favorite?
Not Delaware.
I've got to ask what happened in Delaware, or should I not know?
No, it's the first state, and I think first is the worst, maybe. I don't know. I had a really bad show there, is all. My experience in anywhere is going to be colored by the shows and the producers and things like that, so.
You should have heard my last segment, so that would have made you feel better
Yeah,
maybe
it was
about that
embarrassing.
show. It was embarrassing. We were talking about just being too damn dependent on computers. I should have gone out and grabbed a newspaper, but I forgot that we still had them delivered here. There's like a stack that are 8 feet high of newspapers sitting outside the front door. I could have done that. So you're at Laugh Camp Comedy, Reena Calm, and you're bouncing around in this minivan.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been living in a minivan?
Well, the minivan I actually just got last year because I had a Prius before that. I had converted a Prius, and there's a MTV Cribs style tour of that.
What do you convert in a Prius? Would you take out the back seat?
Yeah, I took out the back seats, did a little bit of a lumber build back there, so there was some storage, and I'm just tall enough where I slept comfortably, believe it or not. Memory foam, same mattress in the
memory foam. That's the stuff.
Yeah, I've got like a yoga mat under the memory foam too, and yeah, I sleep great in the minivan now. I mean, the Prius worked, but it was only going to work if I rearranged the entire vehicle for sleeping. So the minivan is nice because it's ready to go.
You're right. We were talking. I lived in a camper. So I had a camper, full, big, spacious camper. For a couple of years, I lived in that bad boy. And I did like boondocking. I liked moving around. I liked that I could go into an area, go to the local bar, embarrass the hell out of myself, as I do at local bars because I'm a bad drunk, and then just pick up and leave town. And go find it. And then you'd walk into the next bar, and they'd be happy to see you. Be like, who's this guy? We got some new blood here in town. And then you'd be run out of town again, so I could stay on the move.
That's a fun I think that's a more fun strategy. The way I do it is I don't drink because I'm driving.
Yes, that's good thinking.
No, also, I mean, as a woman on the road, I did an article for Cracked Magazine about it. There's just a little bit of a difference when you're a woman traveling alone, especially doing comedy and in this nightlife atmosphere.
Right.
Where, yeah, that's like a risk factor. I'm not going to be drunk in these strange places.
No. You're a
people could
target.
Follow me on Twitter, not to my car. You
Right,
know what I mean?
Do you find it a challenge where you have to park your vehicle?
Yes. Well, honestly, like, I don't know when you were boondocking, but it's
Yeah.
gotten so much harder out there, so much worse. There's so many more regulations and stuff. I always
Right.
check the local laws because I don't want to ever get that tap on the window.
Right.
I always sleep where I'm allowed. But yeah, I have a whole system. Like, I'll get ready in one location and then I'll find the spot I'm going to sleep. And then once I sneak into that spot, I just crawl into the back. Nobody sees me get out of the car until the morning.
Yeah. Oh, so in my camper, at least I had like a little shower kind of thing in there. That's where I was self-contained within that. In the minivan, you've got a
we ride
shuck
dirty.
and jive. Yeah, I love it. Little sponge bag, got the washcloth.
Planet Fitness.
Yeah,
No, I don't have a bucket. I have a lot of nice clothes and stuff in there.
Yeah.
And it's like a green room on wheels. So.
Right, and your merch.
My merch. I promise I'm not pooping in a bucket next to the merch. You can come by the merch. It is clean.
It hasn't been touched by poopy hands.
The jokes are dirty, but the merch is clean.
Is your show dirty?
I mean, it's probably... I don't even know how to answer that anymore because I feel like dirty used to mean don't be a woman. Dirty used to mean shut your dirty woman mouth. Or don't swear, don't talk about sex. But after the last few years, I've noticed that a lot of the places that used to book me to do a clean show are now like, oh, yeah, you can say anything about sex. Just don't challenge our politics. You know what I mean? Just don't make me think too hard.
Right. We pushed it one and one. We became a little less repressed when it comes to sex, but when it comes to politics, this country's just lost its mind.
It's the new dirty. It's the new dirty.
It
know.
is.
So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, which is when the show usually is, I just want people to laugh and have a good time. So I've been getting extra silly up there, and there is some sex. I've always done jokes about sex, especially as a woman. I feel like that's an empowering thing to do, and I've had feedback from that, especially in small towns.
Right.
But yeah, it's all over the place, all over the map.
Well,
just
since
like
you
me.
brought it up, I mean, if I can pry into your personal life, I mean, how is it working living in a minivan, being a vagabond comedian, and having a love life?
Not a category for me.
Not currently happening.
Radio hosts always ask.
Well, that's how radio hosts are. That's where our minds go. That's how we ended up in radio.
Yeah, that's just not my. I just finished performing in all 50 states, so I haven't really. No ports. No fellas or ladies stashed in any ports anymore.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, outstanding. You brought a book in with you.
I did.
Since I don't have my bio sheet in front of me to tip me off to all this stuff.
I've got it
Once
right here.
Upon a Time by Reena Calm. Your name's on the book. You've written this thing. You are a pun master.
Yeah, I've got some. I have bookmarked some easy ones here for you. Since we're coming in recording, this one I feel like is topical.
Okay.
Phil Collins is recorded in front of a live studio audience. Can we
Oh,
get
my
it?
God.
There you go, right there. We just listened to Phil Collins.
Oh, really?
In front of us. Yeah, that's the song we came out of where the dead air.
I didn't even hear
they
it.
heard us talking about whatever we were talking about.
I want to say that even though I did just see the Barbie movie, women who wear heels all the time are probably unstable. I actually don't know if that's a pun. I think it's just an
that's not
observation.
fun. That's just clever.
Yeah, I think that's just accurate.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that rebel pancake? He went to live off the griddle. Stupid.
These are borderline dad jokes.
Oh, yeah, these
I'm
are-
taking notes.
These are the clean ones.
Yeah. No, wait a second. Is this book available? That you sell this at your shows,
Yeah.
I assume.
I have
You've got
some-
a box of them in the minivan.
I do, yeah. I've got some mugs, books. I've got some tote bags right now. And yeah, I've got a stash of these in the van. Happy to sign one at the show. You can also get it on Amazon. There's a link in my bio.
I see illustrations in there.
Yeah,
Did you do
there's-
the illustrations?
No, I actually am really lucky. There's a Minneapolis comic illustrated one of these. I have art from a bunch of artists in Chicago and around the Midwest, people I've met on my travels. This one's illustrated by Shelley Paul. She's one of my favorite Minneapolis comics I've met down here, up here, wherever.
Yeah, wherever you're at.
This one says, deli meat can always get action because it's great in bread.
Are any of those from your childhood that made you giggle when you were young?
No, I don't know. I don't know if we did puns growing up. It just kind of happened. I don't know. This is like therapy now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Kinda
where did
what
this come
radio
from?
is.
Let's go back.
Anytime you wake a comedian up in the morning, because at night you're in go time. But I'm always surprised when we get a comedian on the air because this isn't within your biorhythms.
I'm nocturnal.
Right?
Of the jokes. Yeah. Yeah.
See
No.
what you did there?
I rolled out of a really nice rest stop to be here, so I feel like you're welcome.
Our rest stops in Minnesota were voted top 10 in the nation.
They are nice.
Right?
Iowa too. I mean, yeah, really. Florida has really great rest stops as well.
I didn't see that coming. I thought Florida might be sketchy. Those year-round rest stops, because we have winter here where no one basically uses them. They can get cleaned up and renovated, that whole thing. But Florida, it has a reputation, first of all, and they're year-round.
They're year-round. They're pretty lax on the guidelines. Like, you could stay a while.
Oh, okay.
You know, like, I feel like
Right.
most rest stops are like 8 hours or 24 hours or whatever.
They boot you out.
Florida's like, yeah, we know you can't afford Disney, but come on down here anyway. Florida rest stops are really nice and well-maintained, but Florida itself has a lot of, like, I've noticed just, like, a lot of dudes walking in the ditches by the road.
Yeah.
That's just... They're like the human alligators of Florida. They're just kind of like straggly dudes walking on the sidelines.
Every morning there's a Florida man story. This morning the Florida man was, what was he, smoking synthetic marijuana?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why we have to do that anymore. We have good stuff.
They have regular,
They have
right?
regular marijuana. It's pretty good, right? Yeah, and so he gets all hopped up on the synthetic marijuana, pooped in someone's driveway, and then humped their garbage can. That's not a
At
good
the same
high.
time?
Don't
Well, I
judge.
don't think it was at the same time. I don't know which was first. I always find that, my dump comes along after a good,
Yeah, like, what was that, the big
vigorous,
finish?
Yeah,
or was
there's
the...
a big finish, and then there's the big finish. Right, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what was going on there with him, but that's Florida's reputation. That's what I'm thinking of down there.
I haven't been down there in a while, actually. But yeah, that's definitely a factor. Like, on the West Coast, on the 101, like right on the ocean, you can pull over and camp and park anywhere there, and it's beautiful, but there's no amenities. There's no trash cans. There's no bathrooms. I don't know if I should tell you guys about my carlostomy bag story.
Tell me about
Yes.
You can't use the word carlostomy and then just clam up on us. Reena Calm, by the way, she's the comedian at Laugh Camp. And just imagine, this is the clean version of what she does. But anyway, she's at Laugh Camp with a show tonight and tomorrow night. Correct?
Yes, 2 shows, 2 nights. And let me tell you, Minneapolis and St. Paul, I have pooped in a bag. And I'm roughing it out there, rough rider.
Yeah, that is.
That was in the Prius, real low to the ground. Here's the thing. You gotta like double, triple bag it. The Prius was actually nice because you can make like the little door stall. Now with the minivan, I feel exposed. But,
Oh, yeah, 'cause the door doesn't open out. Because
Right.
I have one of those trucks that has that crew cab in the back. And if you open both doors, you have a little urinal stall there.
Exactly.
You can pee just about anywhere.
I did get a Shiwi, which is the ladies' funnel,
Yeah.
Put the fun in funnel. And I'm actually selling those at the show. I have my own Shiwis that I sell. If anybody, female empowerment, $10. But, yeah. The one time I was on the West Coast there, and there was no trash can, there was no anything, so I did my business, tied it up, triple bagged it. You got to bag it and then don't drag it is the key. But that was a humbling day because everybody who passes you knows what it is. They see this bag sticking out of your car.
Yeah, it's like when you're walking your dog and you have to carry the bag as well. So, but it's the human version.
Exactly.
Right, you're carrying your own poop, right?
The point is, I don't litter.
That's because I would have, I would have like walked into an alley by the dumpster and just dropped it. I'm that guy, You have to walk around with your city app and let people know where. They have that in San Francisco now. They have an app. So many people are crapping on the streets, I guess.
Well,
It's not a political statement. It's just the state of San Francisco. They've literally come out with an app, a city app that you can tell where people are pooping, and then they'll come out and clean it up. You drop a pin.
The whole Pacific, they drop something. The whole Pacific Northwest feels a little bit like a dystopian hellscape when it comes to the unhoused population and just how much they're creating boundaries for them to exist out there.
Yeah.
One of the first things I saw when I got to Oregon was a sweater full of poop on the ground. So anyway, they gotta. There's not. This is the worst. But yeah, San Francisco is scary for anybody that if you have a vehicle with anything that you care about.
Right.
Stay away from the Bay Area now.
Yeah, that's what people are saying right now.
Everybody says, "Oh, just take everything out of your car." It's like everything's in my car.
You live in your car for crying out loud.
There's no hiding it.
Maybe avoid San Fran for a little while. Stay right here in Minnesota with us.
Yeah. Let's just get this Canada wildfire business under control.
Oh,
Good
that's
Lord.
right.
Yeah, sorry, I'm wheezing.
Yeah, no, you did. You said you came in a little dry this morning. The smoke's not as bad as they said, but we've been living with it all summer. It kind of comes and goes. Now, if it's just kind of a soft haze, we're like, it's not bad at all.
As somebody who just came up into it, like, it's bad.
I've started smoking again. I'm doubled down. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I wake up listening to Weezer. That's just, yeah.
I know. Reena Calm is at Laugh Camp. Eventbrite, I know, has the tickets. You can go to Laugh Camp's website tonight. There's 2 shows tonight and tomorrow night. You usually open up with someone. Do you know who you're opening up with?
Oh, my gosh.
Someone who's opening up with you?
You know what? It's a comic I've met before, and I can't remember his name right now.
That's all right.
I'm going to look
I put you on the spot.
Yeah, I should have known that. I should have done my homework before I got here.
I should have done my homework before.
Well, we're doing the best we can. The internet doesn't work.
No.
Somebody pooped on the...
You had a carlostomy bag.
Yeah, that was an overshare. You know what?
No.
If you come to the show, don't be asking me about my carlostomy bag. It's private.
She'll hit you with a pun.
It's Carl Lostomy who is opening for you.
Yes, that's my opener. Carl Lostomy. You know him. You love him. Oh, I'm looking on the Eventbrite, and I don't see it.
But there is an opener.
He's great. I've met him. I can't remember his name right now.
He's fantastic. If you want to find out, go to the show or go to eventbrite.com.
Yeah.
You look like you're having the kind of morning technology-wise that I've been having.
Nothing seems to work the way that it should. I don't know if any...
We're still plunging deeper in, though, with AI. And we're talking this morning now, the big thing is they want to put chips in your body so that you can open your car, open your apartment, whatever you want to open up with, pay for your...
Yeah, that's going to go off without a hit. People are going to be like, yeah, give me the chips. No problem. Yeah, that's going to go off real smooth.
And then they're going to be hacking you. They're going to be hacking your body.
I mean, don't they already have all of our info by...
They have it all, Reena.
Their list. You know what the thing is that I want to figure out how to talk about is like the advertisements they show you. It's stuff you already bought, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's going to make me not want to buy that thing ever again is what it's really going to do.
That means they just need to keep advertising until they get you through the not wanting to buy it and back around to buying it.
I mean, it's made me believe like anything you hear that many commercials for, they're spending their money wrong. You know what I mean? Like Geico, I've had the experience. Sorry, are they a sponsor? Well, they're ruining my life right now.
Those bastards.
Candace, cut the Geico ad.
Right. No. They're offering me, like, I had an accident last year. They're offering me less money than they spend on like a single screen from when. Listen,
than the lizard's getting, the gecko or whatever it is.
Yeah, and the real thing with the commercials is that they've like made all of our entertainment the length of a commercial. So like we grew up with commercials and entertainment.
Yeah.
But I feel like kids now are just like it's all streamlined and everything kind of blends together. And at this point too, they're only showing commercials to people who can't afford to skip the commercials. So, like, what are they going to buy?
That's a good point. You get the Netflix with commercials for like $3 or $4, something like that a month.
What
I
are
don't
you
even
selling?
Really know. Right, exactly. So if you can't afford the full Netflix without the commercials, then what are they selling you that you can possibly afford? That's some keen insight right there. I like that.
Senthil Rajasekaran is my opener. And I don't know if I've met him before, but he's funny looking. I'm just kidding.
There it is, boys and girls. All right, Reena. Well, we've got to cut you loose anyway. Reena Calm. Thank you so much. We're going to send you back out to your minivan. Is your minivan here?
Yes, it is.
Can I take a look at it?
Oh, it's a mess. But
That's
sure.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to go take a peek at Reena Calm. She is at Laugh Camp tonight. There are 2 shows, tonight and tomorrow night. Very funny. She is the queen of puns. What's the book called again?
It's called Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time.
And you can check out my album, Calmity.
Thank you.
Doing a whole new hour of jokes here today. And anybody else can look at my van. It's on my Instagram.
You've been getting a lot of great write-ups. People are really digging you. I mean, you're a hot comic right now.
Woo!
That's what I read. That's what I remember reading earlier when I had internet service.
Hot like the Canada skyline.
This has been my favorite analog interview. I haven't done this in like 15 years. Just sat and had a chat. Normally I'm looking at a screen and talking to you, through the side of my mouth.
Isn't it
fun.
nice? Isn't it nice to what else? What are we thinking about, guys? What's going on up here?
Now, don't go to Reena Calm on YouTube and watch all that and think, now I don't have to go see her. You want to see her live and in person, an analog visit to Laugh Camp this weekend. Reena, thank you very much.
All new jokes. I'll see you tonight.
All new jokes?
Yeah,
You're not
nothing
gonna find
online.
it on YouTube.
Yeah, you're not going to find this, baby.
Rock and roll and hang tight. I don't have my thing to read, Candace. I'll read it next. We'll come back and read. Hang tight.
Live reading coming up next.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
Hey, listen, grab your phones right now if you want to see Aerosmith on New Year's Eve for free. Their Peace Out, the iconic band's farewell tour, hitting North America this fall. And we're going to send someone to see them New Year's Eve. One winner going to score a trip for two, Aerosmith's hometown show in Boston. You get your air, your hotel, tickets, of course, to see the show with the Black Crowes on New Year's Eve. Plus, you and your guests will each take home a copy of Aerosmith's Ultimate Greatest Hits Super Deluxe 4 LP set. Here's what you do. You want to text the national keyword to win. You want to text the national keyword to win.
I need a coffee.
What is the national keyword? It's not on my... Text the national keyword to win to 95819. You didn't put it on my... not you. It isn't on here. I will read it verbatim.
Dag nabbit.
Text the national keyword to win to 95819 now to enter for a chance to win.
All right.
Oh, wait a second. Here it is. I'm on the wrong... I'm on yesterday's. I got it. Oh, town.
Town.
The word town. Text town to 95819. Town to 95819. I was channeling Terry Train there. Can I pick on her?
Of course.
Because to win, if you take out the space, says what? Town.
Oh.
So I thought it said to win. Yeah, but right, with an I in there. So anyway, I was on the wrong piece of paper.
She actually sent a couple funny stories this morning. Thanks, Terry.
I know. We might have to get to those. In fact, but right now I'm going to do this story that we talked about earlier. A woman says she was sexually assaulted by a toy at a Japanese restaurant. This cuckoo, Isabel, and her husband, James, were visiting Nashville. Beginning of the week, they were up there for a little bit of work from Texas. I'm thinking they don't get out of Texas very often. So Monday night, they take the entire fam, the grandkids, everybody out to one of those Japanese hibachi restaurants. It's fun. The chef cooks your meal right in front of you. They put on a show. Candace loves them.
I love it.
Right. And when it was time for the chef to squirt the water on the grill, as they do, instead he uses a little spray bottle toy. Instead of a spray bottle, it's just a little toy. And when you pull the pants down, the little boy pees. Doesn't have a wiener on it or anything. Just water comes shooting out of the crotchal area there, and it pees. A little novelty gag gift. My grandpa used to have one. Yeah. He loved it. And so it's part of this guy's act. But as he was squirting the water from the little pee boy toy, a little bit of it got on Isabel, and she freaked out. They called the cops. Listen to Isabel and James now absolutely lose it because this little toy that was not anatomically correct squirted a little water on her.
It peed on me, basically.
It shot water out of its penis.
Doesn't have a penis.
Out of its wee-wee area. Does that make sense?
In front of our minor children and grandchildren.
It really didn't have a wiener, but you got the point.
It was a sexual style assault on my wife.
I mean, just because it didn't have a weenie.
Just because somebody may cut off that little piece of plastic to say, okay, it's not there anymore, doesn't change the fact that you're getting peed on.
Actually, you're not getting peed on at all. Yeah, you don't know where to start with these people, and that's what makes it so aggravating because you couldn't possibly argue with them because they're never going to get it. They live they're just, at a whole nother level of ignorance than I've ever experienced.
It peed on me.
And she enjoyed it a little bit. She felt funny. She had a feeling she hadn't felt with James. And what's this with the minor kids and grandkids?
Yeah, they're going to laugh harder than anybody.
Exactly.
She had a feeling she hasn't felt with James. That was funny.
Well, I'm just saying. Maybe she likes golden showers now. She doesn't know.
Yeah,
She's
she doesn't
confused.
sound that mad. He sounds mad. She's like,
How can you have minor children and grandchildren? They both can't be minors, can they? Well,
they can't go to hibachis anymore. They're going to ruin everything for everybody that likes to get squirted.
Watch out for pieces of plastic. That's all I have to say to that.
Maybe she's a squirter.
Basically.
It shot water out of its penis. How's that?
Out of its wee area. Does that make sense?
In front of our minor children and grandchildren.
It really didn't have a wiener, but you got the point.
It was a sexual style assault on my wife.
I mean, just because it didn't have a wing.
Just because somebody may cut off that little piece of plastic to say, okay, it's not there anymore, doesn't change the fact that you're getting peed on.
Yes, it does. It's not pee, and it's plastic.
Have you just tried to explain something to someone, just something remedial, and they just don't get it, and you realize at some point they never will? I think that's what we're dealing with here with this Texas couple. Get back to Texas, get in the house, slam the door shut, lock it from the inside with as many locks as you have, cock your gun, pull the blinds, and don't ever leave. That's kind of where I'm going with that.
Careful with your wee area.
Careful with the wee area. And
it peed on me.
It peed on her. No charges pending, by the way. The cops said, just get the hell out of Nashville. We're trying to have a little fun here. Go back to Texas.
What if at the hibachi grill they ordered the American meal? Just get a sandwich.
Yeah, you got meatloaf. Got a good steak.
I used to work at a Greek restaurant, and the very, very nice Texas gypsies would come in. They were very nice, great, excellent tippers, paid in cash. But they would get gyros, like usually you get them traditionally with tzatziki sauce and all the stuff.
Yeah.
They just had us put plain old American cheese, just drown it in American cheese.
Yeah.
Really gross.
Yeah.
But they were nice. They were nice.
I would have upcharged them on it. If you want to be white trash, we're going to upcharge them.
Sure.
I thought you were going to say ketchup. No, do you got ketchup?
I think they asked for ketchup from the
gyro?
side. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why not? I love it when they try to be exotic. I think Mom and my sister were in town for the Adele show years ago, and Dad tags along. So we can do a little, guys hanging out while you ladies run off to the Adele show. And not that I wouldn't have loved to see Adele, right? But they were expensive tickets. We only got 2.
Okay.
So Angie, my sister, really wants to get some sushi. Not a lot of great sushi places in Huron, South Dakota. Can we go get some sushi? Absolutely. Dad, Mom, don't worry about it. It's a full Japanese setup, so they have lots of things on the menu that are not sushi. Okay, so we all go. And they get, what's tempura, when it's fried? Well, they had a tempura thing. This is a nice fancy place over in St. Paul. And they had a tempura set up, and they made it shaped like a swan or something like that. I mean, a big full thing of vegetables all stuck together in tempura style, and it came out looking like a swan. Very fancy. I have a photo of them setting it down on the table and my mom and dad looking at it, and they're not a lot different than Izzy and James right there, like, what? And Dad's like, well, what do I do with it? Well, you just break off the head, Dad, and then you start eating that. That's a piece of chicken. What? Yeah, they just didn't. I think they had a couple of bites, and I'm pretty sure I took Dad through a drive-thru when they went off to the Adele show.
It was a new adventure.
Right, and Mom just drank too much wine, and it was a good time. But yeah, and I'm not making fun of people from Texas, by the way. I love people from Texas. Reena Calm, our fantastic comic, performing tonight and tomorrow night over at Laugh Camp. She's living out of her minivan. I did indeed go get the tour. It's small. It's cozy. And like she said, you don't become a couch potato when you're living in a minivan with all of your clothes and your merch and everything. She's on the road in a minivan, just sleeping here and there. The gypsy lifestyle, like we all daydream about. She's out doing it. But I noticed Texas plates. Texas guy, well, that's where the minivan's from anyway.
All right.
Thank you. Go out and see Reena. All new stuff. I'm going to go over and check out the Saturday show. And then today and every weekday at noon, right here, it's a free ride. Minnesota's commercial-free classic rock on 92 KQRS.
Yeah.
The KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.